After Pakistan, now Bangladesh Chief Adviser has presented the disputed art of triumph to a Turkish delegation which is visiting their country. Yunus has given this greater Bangladesh plan that includes incorporating India's northeast to Bangladesh to the visiting Turkish parliamentary delegation. Top intelligence sources in fact tell us that the gesture by Yunus is just not merely symbolic but deliberate. This is timed to show ideological alignment with Ankara's pan-Islamist outreach in South and Southeastern Asia. It marks the first overt reference to territorial expansion from Dhaka's interim regime. This is suggesting growing radicalism under external influence in Dhaka. Let's quickly go across to Akash, who will break down the inputs before I take this forward with Colonel Dev as well. Akash, share this plan with us. What is it stating?
Right. So this is first of all by our investigation editor Manoj Gupta, and we are getting these pictures where we can see this art of triumph, that has been in fact presented to this Turkish delegation, Kanksha. And in this particular picture, what we can see is that there is an indication that what is the thought process in Bangladesh's regime right now, that what they are expecting as far as Bangladesh's future is concerned. And we have been told that it is in fact including the battle plans and also the victory management. And it is a deliberate move to send out a message, because whenever it is about Southeast Asia or South Asia, so we know the kind of plans that the Islamist or I should say that those
Seem to have lost that connection. Okay. Akash, please go ahead, finish.
And this is the reason why it is a matter of concern as well, not just for people here in India, but for the entire world, because we have been seeing indications from Bangladesh. Once again, we are seeing this sort of picture, which is a clear indication that how they have been sending out these deliberate indications to the sort of design and plan they are intending to go forward with.
For bringing us all those inputs. Let me quickly take this forward with Colonel Dev, who continues to stay with us. So, Colonel Dev, ever since Operation Sindoor, we've seen this new axis that's now emerging as a major challenge for Indian forces, whether it is Pakistan, Turkey, and now Bangladesh. What do you make of this axis, and how is India looking towards countering it, given that the Cyprus foreign minister has just left India some days ago?
I think it's concerning because Yunus has presented a false map to the Pakistani general a couple of weeks ago. He's done the same thing. There are noises about battle plans, but I don't think so. Mr. Yunus is in sync with the reality. What India needs to do is actually take this call out to the United States of America directly. I'll tell you why. Turkey is part of NATO. And whatever is happening, because they are interfering directly through Pakistan, they are mingling with the resources of Balochistan, they're talking about Bargham Air Base in Afghanistan, whether they're talking about the Bangladeshi part. The puppeteer remains through the control of the United States of America, and there is no doubts about that. Because for Turkey to even step up and accept this and talk about it would be fatal. So I think to cut it short, let's nip it in the bud. Let's get the United States to speak to Turkey, and we should also issue a démarche to the ambassador here and make sure these calls are not taken, because you cannot control Yunus right now till a proper regime change and a democracy is restored into Bangladesh. There's no point talking to Yunus. We have tried our best. We have spoken to him in terms which he understands. But I think that the zeal of Yunus and the backup which is coming with money, power, and also the kind of aura is creating.
Okay.
The third part is the Islamic Caliphate.
Yes.
So the Islamic Caliphate is certainly trying to revive itself, and Pakistan somehow thinks that itself, Turkey, and other countries are going to make it happen, because the funding sources from the Middle East have suddenly opened up for these kind of activities, given the capitulation of the Trump administration in front of Qatar or the other countries as well. So I think that is something to note. And while we should not take it to be too big a scale right now, but the right diplomatic
how promising is going to be the prospect of, say, a U.S. intervention, given that we are seeing how CIA's role is emerging out of Bangladesh?
Yes.
And now you have Muhammad Yunus, who also is accused of being a CIA stooge. How much of an intervention can one expect on this front from the United States?
Too much. Too much. The United States is yet to sign the trade agreement. We have signed off with the British. There are other countries. Our imports have grown in the last month compared to the year-on-year of the last 3 years. And I think that point has been made. Yesterday, I was in a discussion with a whole lot of think tank from US who's in India.
Okay.
And the same deliberation to bring up the trust was critical because, getting on tariff, 50%, 20%, 5% was also discussed. And I echoed the sentiment of the country to say that does not matter so long as the trust is broken. So I think it is impinging on the industry, B2B connect, people to people connect, which will force the government connect in the United States because the government of India is aligned to work with anybody in terms as a friend or a partner, strategic in nature or for economic reasons. So I think the economic pressures on the US, the pressures of future kind of scenarios which we can talk about will ease down, and election in Bangladesh is the key, and the metal has to prevail of the will of the people of Bangladesh. Once that is done, once our relations with Pakistan, with Bangladesh are better, I think India can slowly nudge out Pakistan. You just heard Trump talking about some weird nuclear facility and testing being done by Pakistan. So I think the right noises are going in the circles. It takes its own time, and Mr. Trump will come about.
Thank you, Colonel Dev, for in fact breaking it down to the brass tacks for us. Many thanks to you for joining in on CNN.